Anyway, let's get on with our final guest this evening. It's been such a packed show, and I think something for everyone. You all agree, ladies and gentlemen. My last guest needs a little introduction for all those people who pogoed their way during the summer of 1977 to the glorious strains of the Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen. Since then, it's had a change of name and a change of image. The image is now public, and the name is now John Lydon. Well, I must say, I am delighted we finally persuaded you onto the show, because we've been trying for a few years to get you to...
from one disaster to another. And he's kept me waiting for hours.
Well, it's a long show now. You've got to wait till the end. We can't...
Totally underwhelmed.
It's good fun, though. I'm sure you're enjoying yourself enormously here this evening, John.
I'm pleased that you've given me the chance to take 500 quid off you to donate to Greenpeace.
Well, that's right. It was £500.
Being here.
Well, that's good. And is that the charity that you're especially concerned about, or is it?
Well, it's as good as any, isn't it?
I suppose if it's our money, it might as well go somewhere decent, mightn't it? Well, let me go through the questions here, and I know you do a lot of interviews, and you answered a lot of these before, possibly, but I've never seen you do one on TV recently. So let me ask you, first of all, I mean, despite the success with public image, you're still known mostly to people as Johnny Watton from the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, but those are people that read The Sun and the Daily Mirror, and they don't really count.
But that's a lot of the population. You know,
Is it?
I tell you what, you're all cheering. I bet you all read them when you go home in the morning. Oh, there. Well, so it doesn't bother you that people would still, or the majority
No, well,
of the
that depends. You know, I mean, I never joined this business to be a pop idiot. I think what I do matters. It does change people's lives. Even though the likes of Cliff Richards, for instance, who's been slagging me off recently, doesn't like that, that's beside the point. The thing is that I am valid. So, I change a lot more than our boy Cliff.
You certainly do. I think that's no one's querying that one. What do you think of the current pop scene? Is that because really it seems to be nothing much has changed?
Fairly mediocre. Nobody's got any guts. Bunch of wankers, really.
It's considered you, isn't it? Then I've got a quote here, and I don't know if it's genuine or not. You said at one time, rock and roll preaches stupidity. You know, how so?
It certainly does, doesn't it?
I don't know, does it? In what way?
Well, it used to be just flappy flares and platform boots, and I thought all that had gone away. No, lo and behold, they now call it acid house.
So you're not an acid fan?
Nothing really ever changes. I think because the English are just basically lazy. You ain't got no guts.
Is that depression
Which
about the
explains Thatcher. Oh, we have yuppies in the house.
Now, there are rumours going round that every now and then you hear that the other Pistols, might reform.
Yeah.
As I said, do you ever get wind of that? Is there a chance that's going to happen?
Well, yeah, all those rumours about 6 million being offered to me, I wish they'd come direct.
Would you do it then for a lot of cash?
No, I wouldn't. Not at any price. I would never repeat myself. And I think everybody knows that about me. You might not like me, but at least I'm damn honest.
Let me do the sort of touch on that honesty then. I want to go back to Sid Vicious, because that was, you know, one of Rock's little hiccups there. Now, what?
Well, he was honest too. I mean,
but what happened there?
But
why did
he rid of himself? Right. Next.
Let me just dwell on that for just a second, because that seems a bit unfair. At the time, I was under the impression that you were Sid's friends. That's why I was in the band.
Yeah, I was. That's how I can say that. I mean, I'm not joking here. That's an absolute fact. Once you start messing about with heroin, really, you're kissing goodbye to your life, and good riddance, too.
Let me touch on another kind of like...
Oh, my God, it's like the Johnny Carson thing.
Let me touch on another ex-associate of yours then, Malcolm McLaren.
No, let's get some more cliches together.
No, let's touch on McLaren then. What about Malcolm McLaren? Because he speaks about you occasionally.
Oh, yeah,
and I know you don't.
I've seen him on your show last
well,
time.
we always ask about you, John, because we want to know what's happening. But, I mean,
you tell me. Now, you told me that man was completely sober all night until he hit the cameras.
He did seem to suddenly become drunk.
Can you believe an imitation alcoholic? That's Malcolm McLaren.
All right, well, if you don't want to talk about Talkie Malky, let me ask you about another quote here, which is one of my favourites, and I've probably got it wrong. I think you once described sex as, I'm not sure whether it was 2 minutes, 30 seconds, or just 30 seconds.
Yes, yeah, well, that was when I was young, but I perfected a technique.
I was going to ask you how you managed to last so long, that's what I was going to say. You going to do any more films? Because I liked you in the film you did with Harvey Keitel, was it Order of Death?
Yeah, but all the offers since have been, like, really naff. I was offered Drugstore Cowboy, as it happens, a year and a half ago, but we were on tour, so I had to turn it down.
So do you regret that?
It's a shame, because I would have liked to work with Matt Dillon. I know him well.
Would you? So what part would you have had in it then? His kind of sidekick.
You know the ratty little gits that... Well, that's what they'd written for me. Funny, that.
What about your reaction to the
I can't
audience?
see it myself.
No, you see, you should fight typecasting, shouldn't you? When I've seen you live with Public Image a couple of times. I saw you at the Rainbow, one of your first gigs on Christmas Day, and you seem to treat the audience with a kind of thinly veiled contempt, which I find endearing, but at the same time rather
at that
odd.
particular time, I mean, tell the whole story. They were throwing beer bottles at me.
Oh yeah, they were. Yes, I suppose so. I suppose that might have something to do with it. But a lot of the time, you do seem very contemptuous of your sort of audience, of your fans.
No. It's all part and parcel of the fun of it all. You've got to threaten. You've got to antagonise. You've got to use those emotions that the Stockhaven-Walkman Brigade run away from.
You think? I mean, how do you
just real feelings,
you
real love, real hate?
But your style, all this sort of stuff, it's kind of like it's out of vogue at the moment. I mean, it's not sort of selling. That's not what sells records at the moment, right?
If honesty is a style, yeah.
Okay, well, your lifestyle then, or your attitude, is what. Now, do you think? I mean, how are you going to survive if you're not selling records over here and people are going for the bubblegum
This
pop?
is too bleeding bad, isn't it? That ain't going to stop me. I've never ever done this for money. That's not the point.
So you just carry on doing your own
Life
thing?
first, money second.
Well, it sounds.
I ain't no bleeding Tory.
There you go. I think on that note, John, we didn't have very much time. It was a pleasure. I thank you very much for coming on.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Lydon.
And now a musical act.
John, thank you very much.
Cheers.
We were too much on Saturday night. That is about all we've got time for, almost. As I said, I'd like Queen Bee to come on, say hello, because we didn't get time to... Sorry about that, we just ran out of time. Too much in the show. Good heavens. You know, I'm glad I asked you back. Queen Bee will be on the show next week. And now the perfect end to the perfect day after I thank all my guests of Sadie Nine, Lloyd Cole, Sheikh Michael Herbridge, Armistead Mopan, and John Lydon. We have a bit more music from Lloyd Cole, ladies and gentlemen.
Young people in the next decade, I'd like them to deregularize themselves, get rid of the rules and regulations that stifle them at the moment. There's a horrible conservatism creeping in amongst young people, which I'm sure is partly responsible for the football hooliganism, because it tends to be that the worst louts are the ones with the most money. To get rid of that greed, the financial gain, and to learn to respect just human beings for what we are. Oops, there goes the police car. I've been arrested again.